Hey guys, welcome to my channel, 12th House Tarot. My name is Renee, and today I want to do something a little bit different. Usually I would just, do a pick a card reading or whatever, but I felt inspired to do um, this video in regards to like repeating numbers, like angel numbers that you see. And this one in particular is angel number 1010. Okay. So if you're seeing this number repetitively, this is going to be a topic that you might want to stick around and listen to. Okay, so a little bit about myself. Um, this is my story in regards to the number 1010. So, me personally, I was actually raised Catholic, okay? And growing up, it was very ritualistic. It was like, pretty much you had to do works to, find God's favor. You had to repent, go to confession, volunteer. Like, it was mostly about works kind of thing, um, as you can imagine with Catholicism. But, I always had kind of like a rebel spirit as a kid. Um, I am a Scorpio, and my Scorpio placements have a lot of planets in my 12th house, hence the title 12th House Tarot, okay? So, like, I was just a rebel kind of thing. Like, I just couldn't fit in. I was an altar server, and, I'd wear like black nail polish with black Converse up at the altar, like, even though you're not supposed to, just hold my hands up like this, like, you know. But, it wasn't really about having a relationship with God or with spirit. It was more like look what we did, like look what we volunteered to do kind of thing. I love my grandma, bless her heart, but it was all about that type of stuff. Like she was the one who really pushed that on me. And like I love her to death, but that was kind of my upbringing. And so we fast forward, I was late teens, early adult, around 19 years old. I ended up getting into, I guess you could say, like the new age wave that was going on around, like when it first really started picking up in like 2013, 2014. And like at the time, I was a stoner, like I was kind of hippie, like vibe, like, oh yeah, I'm into all of this new age stuff, which I'm still kind of into certain things, but I have a completely new perspective, as you get older, you get wiser and whatnot. But I was kind of reckless and I didn't have much of direction. And yeah, I did study things like numerology and astrology and stuff like that, but I was rather directionless, and I didn't have any structure growing up really as a kid. I was, moving around a lot. And so here I am, this late teen, 18, 19-year old, and I was a stoner. And then as I got into my late teens, early 20s, I started drinking a lot. Okay, so like it was drinking any type of substance that I could get a hold of, like I was down for it, just to kind of numb myself from, I guess, childhood traumas that I went through. And I didn't realize I was going to be getting into that in this video, but I'm just going to roll with it, okay? So there I was, kind of the self-destructive kid, and I mean, I had a drinking problem. Like I went from smoking weed to switching to drinking, and uh, I got into situations that really like put me in danger, kind of thing. And it got to a point. I was in my late, not how old was I? I guess you could say I was around 23, 24, whenever like something clicked. I woke up with like a hangover and was like I was looking at myself. I was not happy with where I was. I would just try to do anything to fill the inner void, right? So I remember I was just crying and crying and crying and just like praying to God, whoever, just, like I was like kind of like in a repentance type of thing, like just letting it out, right? And so I started like I got sober and I started I was reading the Bible because that at the time, I was trying to get my shit together. And then all of a sudden I started seeing the number 1010 like crazy. Like everywhere I would look, the time it would be 1010. I would get a receipt and it would be $10.10 and then it had like 10 10 10 10 10 like on the top of the receipt. It was driving me nuts. Like I'm literally seeing 1010 everywhere. Like literally everywhere. And finally, I'm like I start asking Spirit, God, whatever you want to call it, okay? I was like, why am I seeing this number? Like, I understand that one's the beginning and zero is, kind of the void type of thing, but like I didn't know where I was seeing it. And so, um, one day I kind of got this instinct to want to start going to church. Of course, because, I wanted to make a complete 180. And so I'm looking online, and at the time I did not have a license or anything. Like I'm saying, like I had literally gone through the dark night of the soul, big time, okay? And like I'm looking up, I don't have a vehicle or a license at the time. I'm living at these kind of ghetto apartments, and I find a church, and I look at the location, and it's literally right across the street from where I lived at the time. Like it was a walking distance. I'm like, okay. I clicked on it and I looked up to see like exactly what time the church started. And I kid you fucking not, it started at 10:10 a.m. That's exactly what it said on like the website's page, 10:10 a.m. And I'm like, okay, God, let's do this. And let me tell you, I'm an introvert, okay? So me doing that, like I used to drink to give myself confidence, and now I was sober and completely like I was just rid of identity. Like I had no identity in myself. And so I knew it was going to be a vulnerable situation because meeting church people, I was raised Catholic. I mean, I moved around and my mom, you know, she uh she got married in a black church, all I've been to different types of churches, but you know, I was kind of desperate and seeing the fact that they started at 10:10 in the morning, I was like, okay, I have to go, so I went there and at the time, like that's what I needed. I kind of got love bombed there, which threw me off because I'm always like a really closed off type of person. But it was what I needed at the time, and I ended up getting, becoming a born again Christian or whatever. And of course, later on, like a few months after going to that church, I realized it was really just a prosperity church, and I'm pretty sure the pastor was a con artist. But the reason why I'm making this video is first, I want to let y'all know like where I came from, and the reason why I do what I do is because I've always had a passion for these types of things, esoteric, getting to the bottom. As I told you, I'm a Scorpio with Sun, Venus, and Pluto, and some other placements of Scorpio in my 12th house, okay? So, and that's, if you know anything about astrology, 12th house is ruled by Pisces. And Pisces can be about illusionment, it can be about addictions, uh, and I've, through the years, come to this realization that we have the power to heal ourselves, right? So yeah, that's the reason why I started this channel. But anyways, I'm also making this video not only to inform you of who I am, but also to get to the bottom of the number 1010. So if you've been seeing the number 1010, the reason why you're seeing this number is because like there's been an aspect of yourself that has died off, okay? So you might feel like you're in a vulnerable state where it's like, okay, I need to start making some steps to improve myself. What can I do? And you might be praying and asking for clarity or answers, right? And so this number is letting you know that like it's a number of taking the steps, taking the small steps to better yourself. You know, it can be from getting sober to keeping up with your house, make sure your bed's made every day, like the little steps that make up the bigger picture. Um, Me personally, I wouldn't say that I am a quote unquote Christian because I mean, I, it's a long story, okay? I done been down the rabbit hole and came back with realizations. I love Christianity. I love the origins of true Christianity and like Gnosticism and stuff like that. Um, but like I am just simply a spiritualist. But with the number 1010, I'm grateful that that number came into my reality when it did because I mean, it's so crazy how we look back at these things that we go through. It's like why did that happen? And then as you get older, you're like, oh, I understand why that happened, kind of thing. So yeah, the number 1010, you're about to embark on a new chapter. You're going to be pushed into situations that are going to help expand you. That's why you're seeing the number 1010. And also, it's something that's going to help form your character. And another message with the number 1010 is that if you have if you feel inspired to do something, like you feel called to do something, uh, don't hesitate. Like that's the time to really just do it. Like I just went to that church, completely out of character for me to go to, uh, that it was a non-denominational prosperity church, but it was out of character for me to put myself in that type of situation just because, honestly, if I'm being real, I don't fit in with the church crowd. I just don't, okay? um, I've been to many churches and, you know, uh, I'm just a weird one, okay? And if you're here, you're probably weird too, okay? So, anyways, yeah, so the number 1010. Take the action that you feel called to do. Just take it because there's going to be a lesson that you're going to learn. What I learned going to that church was to have confidence because, yes, it was a prosperity church. The pastor, like I said, I feel like he was a con artist, but we learn something from everyone, and that's another message. Like pay attention to the people in your life, even those who might be kind of out of character with who you would listen to usually. Even though yeah, he was a pastor, kind of a con artist, but he had things to say. I soaked it in. And another message is to view like these people as teachers, whether they're good or bad. They're all teachers. Okay. So I do want to go ahead. I'm going to pull some oracle cards. Usually I pull out the tarot, but I decided, you know what? We can pull some oracle cards. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to ask why it is that you are currently seeing the number 1010. Okay? So we're going to start with the Heal Yourself oracle cards. Spirit, why are they seeing the number 1010? 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 Okay, yeah, that's exactly what I was talking about. So the first card that we do have is the card Courage. So like I was saying, this is a time to step out of your comfort zone. 1010 is saying, hey, come on, let's get to move on. And it's going to be things that, you don't feel comfortable doing. Like it's literally like asking you to stretch. It's going to feel like you're stretching. But 1010 is asking you to have courage just to do it. The next card we do have is the card of sexuality. You see, she's naked, she's vulnerable. This is about being completely vulnerable with yourself. Okay. And also, like I was saying, like that church that I went to, something it taught me was to be more courageous, to speak up more, because I used to be really like shut down, like I don't want to talk. If you're a stranger, like I have nothing to say to you. But it taught me to get out of my comfort zone, and that's another message coming through. That you're gonna feel vulnerable in doing so, but it's a necessary so you can grow. Okay. Yeah. And the next card, like I was just saying, is say what you mean. So 1010 is asking you to speak up more, to even have the hard conversations you're not comfortable having with other people, because you'll be surprised with, I guess another message that's coming through is the concept of forgiveness. Okay, that nothing is set in stone, and no matter what it is that you did, um, forgive yourself, ask for forgiveness, and you'll be surprised with the say what you mean card. Like just be honest with yourself, with spirit, and with others. On the bottom of this deck, we do have the card of beauty. So 1010 is asking you to see your self-worth. It's another message that's coming through for you guys. Oh, and also if you look right here, there's a snake. So really what I'm feeling is it's almost like, the snake, the inner snakes that we do have, like the inner demons and stuff, to not be distracted on your flaws, but to go within and know your true self and know that you are love. Okay? Spirit, why are they saying the number 1010? Why are they saying the number 1010? Okay, we have the card Freedom. Like I said, it's a time to get out of your comfort zone. It's a time to expand, to stretch yourself. If you've been feeling confined, which when I was first seeing 1010, I was confined. I didn't have Jack squat. I was just reading my Bible in my apartment at the time, like kind of in isolation. But it's asking you to get outside of the box. It's asking you to seek freedom, go for walks, go anywhere. If you feel inspired to go do something, go do it. It'll give you the sense of freedom. It's a time of stretching yourself, really. Why are they saying the number 1010? Okay, we have the card of perception. All right. If you're feeling like you're stuck, Spirit is asking you to change your perception of the situation. Like there's always a reason for the detour. That was another thing that was going on around the time I was seeing the number 1010. Again, with the story I was just telling, uh, I went and applied at this bookstore. It's a Christian bookstore. It's called Mordell. I applied there, I got the job. I didn't have a car at the time, so I was relying on someone from that church to give me a ride. And I walk out and the car is gone. And I'm freaking out. I'm by myself. My phone's out of service. I didn't have any data. And like I'm walking back and forth, like freaking out, like, oh God, what do I do? And then all of a sudden, out of freaking nowhere, this van drives up and it's some of these people from that church. It's like, because I was like sitting there kind of praying. I was like, God, oh my God, what do I do? And they drove up and they're like, Renee? I'm like, hey, I need a ride home. But there's, it's asking you to trust. That's the big message. It's asking you to trust, even if it feels like, oh God, like I didn't know how I was going to get home. Like literally, it was like by the grace of God that this van drove up. It was like, hey, you need a ride? So yeah, just trust, even if it feels like you're at a dead end. Have faith is a big message. Why are they saying Tintin? Abundance. Okay. Yeah, it's asking you to be resourceful and to see what it is that you have in your arsenal and to just be grateful for what you have and know that, like in this new chapter, you're going to be receiving abundance into your life. Yeah, and then the card Strength at the bottom of the deck. Know that you're bigger than your past and you're bigger than your mistakes. And there's this inner dormant strength that resides in you that's that's wanting to come out, you know. It's beautiful energy. Also, I'm seeing right here it says star. Okay. So know that you're a star. Shine your light. Be honest with yourself. Allow yourself to be vulnerable. Okay, Spirit. Why are they saying the number 1010? Ooh, hello. Yeah. We have the card growth. Okay? You're going through a growing period, and it's time to look and see how far you've actually grown, like how much you've actually changed. You know, she's gotten so tall that she hasn't even realized like how much she's grown until she looks down at herself. Okay? Like I said, it's a time of growth and it's a time of expansion and change. Yeah, what did I say? Take the inspired action. Yeah, you're saying 1010 because Spirit's wanting you to take the action. Like, it's time to pay attention to the signs. That's really the message coming through. If you're feeling signs or feeling a nudge to go do something, just go do it. You never know. Like, let's say you're like, oh, I don't know why I want to take this route and go to this gas station instead of going to the gas station I usually go. And like what'll end up happening is like synchronicities will happen and you'll bump into somebody either that you used to know or somebody who's into the same things that you are. You know, take the inspired action and synchronicity is going to follow. That's the big message. I know, that was fast. Okay, so we have the card Peace. Yeah, this is about finding your inner peace, getting rooted and getting grounded in yourself. That's why you're seeing 1010, because you're in the process of shedding an old identity and it's making way for something new. So it's like I'm seeing the circle in this picture, and it reminds me of the zero, and it's 1010. So one is the beginning point, and the zero represents the void, or it represents the possibility, like anything is possible. But there's a need to be present right now, and that's where you'll find the peace and clarity on how to take the action. Okay? On the bottom of the deck, we have the card Hunger. So this card talks about There's, I think it's a Cherokee uh, story where like the child asked the grandfather um, about the two wolves or something. I can't remember the whole context of the story, but there's a white wolf and there's a black wolf, and one is like we all have these two wolves within us, and we can decide which one we're going to feed. Are you going to feed into fear, anxiety, and depression? Or are you going to stay in that? It's like being in between worlds, is what it is. Or are you going to decide to feed possibility and light and love and to move forward with faith? And it's like being in this limbo of two worlds. It's like you can teeter-totter to one or the other, but it's your choice. It's like the crossroads. That's what 1010 really is. It's the crossroads. Okay. And last but not least, we're going to pull from the numerology oracle deck. Spirit, why are they seeing the number 1010? Why are they seeing the number 1010? Okay, we have physical activity. For some of y'all, this could be in regards to your physical health. There's, like I was, you know, go out for a walk or something like that just to get blood flowing. Also, there's action and physical activity. There's something that you need to start going towards. Okay, instead of sitting in the limbo stagnant, the past is behind you and the present is right now and the future is yet to be seen. So it's time to start taking the inspired action. Why are they seeing the number 1010? Okay, we have the card of communication. So it may be asking you to, we have that say what you mean. There's a need to be honest and to communicate what it is that you are feeling called to communicate, because your voice matters. At the time when I went to that church, I was actually volunteering for the Sunday school, like watching the kids while they were having church services. And yes, I was doing it because I felt like it was something that my soul needed. I needed to get out of my comfort zone and to experience new things. And in doing that, even though, like, I was able to communicate with these new people, and it was uncomfortable because, like I said, I'm more introverted, and being around church folks is kind of gives me a little anxiety, if I'm honest. But it's a time to be honest and to push the bounds, to not stay stagnant and stuck, and to get out of your comfort zone and say what it is that you need to say. It's about being living in truth and being honest. That way you can take the next right step. Okay. Why are they seeing the number 1010? Did I get a card? Okay, we have health. Okay, not only do we have physical activity, but we also have health. So if you're feeling the nudge to change your health in some way, focus on your spiritual health, your mental health, your physical health. Um, there's a need to focus on that because when you let toxic things go, you have to fill the void with something that's positive. Otherwise, you're going to attract back those karmic lessons that you're trying to get away from. Like, there's like I know I'm bringing up like Christianity in the Bible, but in the Bible, Jesus talks about the story of the man who had all of like the spirits in him, and then the spirits were exorcised out of the man, and the man had like his home was empty. And because it wasn't filled with peace, and that's funny because we have the card peace right here, because it wasn't filled with the light or the truth, um, that spirit came with even more spirits. So there's this message of needing to fill that void with something that's healthy for you, something healthy that you can focus on. That way you don't reverberate back to old ways of being. And on the bottom of the deck, we have the card Happy Ending. So even though you might feel kind of vulnerable taking the next step and leaving things behind, and it's going to be very vulnerable to take those next steps, it's actually leading to a happy ending. And things aren't like you might feel like in the past, like you had a lot of tower moments where like things just went wrong. They're saying this inspired action that you're feeling called to, it's actually leading to a happy ending. It's not going to be a scary, like, oh shit, ah. So this is good news. All right. And last but not least, I want to get one affirmation card for you guys. Spirit, what do you want to leave this reading off with? What do you want to leave? Okay, hello. Okay, we have I surrender to a power greater than me. Yeah, like I was saying, when I first saw the number 1010 at the time, I literally was bawling my eyes out and I just surrendered it all, right? And you have to come to this place of complete surrender and understand that you don't know everything. We don't. We're just human. But the divine has a plan for us. And um, if we could just surrender to that plan, you'll be shown the way. Okay. Know that even though it could be scary, you're not alone. I'm right here with you. And yeah, that's the little story and reading. I know I shared a lot. I know I shared a lot of TMI stuff about my personal past. And, at first I was like, I don't know if I should talk about that. But you know what? I just want to be real with y'all because we've all been through it. We've all been through the struggle. And if you have any questions, feel free to contact me. And if you have any ideas for future readings, I'm totally down to do that. Like, come on, bring it on, bring the ideas on, okay? Well, y'all have a blessed day, and I hope that this found you blessed and gave you some insight on how to move forward. All right, y'all have a good one. Ta ta.